Okay. Yo, what's up? It's your man Tru Serva, and I'm talking to Lifter. So, yeah, currently right now, I live in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, Motion City Stand Up, but originally from Lacombe, Louisiana, which is right north of New Orleans. So what basically brought me up north is Hurricane Katrina, you know. So I was in college in North Dakota, and actually the week I toured all summer after college. The week I was moving back to Louisiana was when Hurricane Katrina hit. So just hop, skip, jumped over to the Twin Cities, and ever since then I just felt like that's where the Lord's been having me at to make an impact in the community there. Substance Church is where I go to church. So I guess a friend of mine who used to be a pastor there was the first one to ever invite me to go to church there, which is now 7 years ago. And so I was just there. When I first got there, I just worked to serve. I was ushering, working info table, load in, load out. You know, that's what you have to do at a portable campus. And then eventually I was, you know, on stage with the worship team. I already had a hip-hop ministry going while I was traveling and stuff, but I took my time serving before hitting the stage, and now here we are a few years later now since it's been going down. So I guess it first came about after I gave my life to the Lord when I was in high school, and every rapper got to have a crew. So I had a crew, and it was called the Tru Servas. No, not the rest of them couldn't rap, but it was just me. But as we got on and it started to get a little more serious, then I took on the name for myself. When it actually stands for, T stands for total praise, you know, which comes out of Psalms 150, 1 through 5, where we praise the Lord with everything. The R stands for relationships, meaning, you know, if we have a right relationship with the Lord, it allows us to have right relationships with one another. The U stands for unashamed, you know, being unashamed of the gospel, for it's the power of God unto salvation, you know, Romans 1:16. Or, you know, when Jesus said, if you confess me, I confess you before my Father in heaven, if you confess me before people, you know. S stands for servant of the call, you know, fulfilling the Great Commission. E stands for eyes focus, meaning if we're focused on things that above normal everyday circumstances won't slow us down or hold us back or get us all cramped up, you know. The other R stands for rise above expectation, you know. So they just say in life, hey, if you just show up, you ahead of the crowd. And I just believe as Christians, we're called to go beyond, you know, living a lifestyle of excellence, to go beyond. The V stands for vision for others, which comes out of John 15:13, you know, no greater love than he who lays his life down for a friend. And then the A, it stands for accepting God's grace. Now, we know we all deserve it, but to be a true follower of Christ, we have to accept His grace. So, there you go, Tru Serva. I guess we started integrating hip-hop into worship. I've been doing it pretty much all my Christian life, but at Substance Church and, you know, other churches I'm involved with to do hip-hop in worship, it's just add a little flavor, a little flair is how it came about. The culture of our times is changing, you know. Hip-hop is in everything these days. You can't watch a commercial or a sitcom or go to a basketball game without hearing hip-hop. And so if it's part of our culture, part of who we are, it's going to be part of the church. And so we took of what, you know, we were familiar with in doing worship and operating in what I consider as a hip-hop, you know, in hip-hop, our form is a form of worship in the way I do it, and just, putting them together. So it's just two forms of music colliding as one, and that's how it happens, you know. Usually in the hip-hop, a lot of people like it because we are all about lyrical content, so then sometimes our lyrics are a little more deeper than the actual worship song. So people, when you heard a song for the last 10, 15 years that you're still singing in church, it's nice to, you know, we call it hip-hop, remix it a little bit, vibe it up, make it a little more exciting, you know. So well, I guess I have to agree with rap music or hip-hop does provide an attitude. It's part of, you know, hip-hop. What some people know, hip-hop is actually the culture, and rap music is the voice of the culture, or the music of the culture. And so you could carry, you know, I guess a little tone, but what I've seen in hip-hop, whether you do general market hip-hop or some would call secular or Christian hip-hop, we're usually pretty direct about the way we do things. So if you're doing hip-hop for the world, then you're talking about different things of the world. But if you truly want to serve Christ, it's the Christ that comes out in your lyrics. So I think no matter what side you live on, you're unashamed of the lifestyle that you live in. You're either unashamed to live for the world or unashamed to live for the Lord, and I think that really comes out in doing hip-hop music.